Let me get myself situated. Hi, my name is Jessamyn, or Jess, and I'm the host of this podcast, Echoes of Grace. It has been a long journey to get to this point of starting, and it's been something I have had in my heart and put on my heart for a while now. And these past few months I had a lot of excuses to not just do it and post. And today I had to wake up and get to it and just start. So for everyone and anyone that's listening or watching, thank you for giving me the chance of this space. And I hope that we can learn and grow together as we continue to endure, persevere, and continue to journey this thing we call life. And so to start, Echoes of Grace. Episode 1 is called The Mic. Episode 1 is called The Heart Behind the Mic. Echoes of Grace is meant to exemplify raw truth and steady grace. Real, unfiltered faith conversations grounded in the eternal goodness of God. I want to welcome you. I am a creative and follower of Christ. I'm embracing this journey and this walk in faith, and with open eyes, ears, heart, mind. And here we don't just have your typical church conversations. I want to be able to dive into faith and have impactful conversations and ask questions and continue to learn who God is for each of us and where we are in this journey and how valuable we truly are. The heart of this podcast is what does it truly look like to walk with Christ in a world that tests our faith constantly? That's the heartbeat behind this space, to wrestle over, to reflect, and walk together in grace. This is a place for the overlooked, the overthinkers, the feelers, the creatives, the believers, the seekers, those still figuring it out, and everyone in between. This is for you. And I say that because I'm also one of you. Echoes of Grace is a call to create something meaningful and grounded in grace. Lately, life is so loud. The opinions of others, the different, morals or values that are placed amongst us because they're just the flashiest or the loudest, or perhaps the lack thereof because it's harder to actually have boundaries and follow through on your own beliefs and actually saying no to others because it's not in alignment. And I used to be a people pleaser, and I can say that I've definitely retired from that, but believe me, I do value and see each person as a valuable individual that also has value to add, that also can have special and unique gifts that we have no real clue what our journeys really look like. The other day, I was talking to my friend and, going through some type of tumultuous emotions and situation. And it's just like, oh, I don't know about the cards that have been dealt. And it came across my heart and my soul to just be like, we don't even know the deck we're actually playing with. We think it's spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. But what if it's nothing we even know or can expect or imagine? And that's the kind of God I believe in. I believe in a God that is kind, that is merciful, that is funny, that is loving, that is creative, that is generous. And all of us are reflections of that. I truly do believe that. And as I've continued to grow in my journey, I can only learn to continue to believe that and not, I can't help but refute anything else. If it's not from God, if it's not from God, it's not for me. Those fruits of the Spirit, we have 9. If it's not those, they're not actually made from Him. And so, I'm not a preacher. I didn't grow up knowing the word back and forth, none of that. But I was lost. And I knew I wanted to be found. Once I found out I was lost. So, life lately, like I said, is so loud. But beauty can be found in the quiet and the stillness. And I want to listen better. I want to ask questions. I want to get to know each other better. Get to know God better, to listen to our stories and testimonies, see how He has impacted you in your different ways of life. Like, everybody has a unique and individual and blessed journey. And I can't help but see the fruit in that and the values of that. And I want to bring more life and emphasis to that, which is why it has been called upon my heart to do this. Everyone's always just like, Jess, you have I love the conversations you have. You need to share this with people. If you had a podcast, XYZ. And growing up for a long time to this point, having any skills or talents that were even told to be appreciated felt egotistical to me. Selfish. Oh, I can draw? Not that good. Oh, I can sing? It's not that deep. So I allowed myself to feel like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But in reality, if I wanted to pursue any of those, I can, because it just requires your heart and your own decisions to follow through on something that you say you want to. I remember having to do an art project and being so overwhelmed in my senior year, because I was like, it has to be like a 24 by 36 basically piece of artwork. And I really enjoy realism when it comes to graphite drawings and things like that. And once I started, I locked in, and I finished that piece in 3 hours. And perfection is not better than progress. And when it also comes to creatives and artists, there's no standard of perfection that we actually are looking to achieve or attain, because mind you, we are creators creating new things. So there isn't a standard already meant for that. And it's like if you don't enact on the idea you came up with, I believe sometimes it goes to the next person that's willing to act on it first. The same thing with like no thoughts are original because somebody has probably thought of them before. That's why we always say no dumb questions are dumb questions no questions are dumb questions because maybe you never know if someone has the same question and they're just too scared to ask. But that's really why I believe in grace and patience and echoes of grace, because sometimes when we're speaking and listening, we use so much of our own personal discernment. Like, I'm hard-headed, and instead of just listening and hearing the voices in like the trees trying to regulate you or recall you, you start like reverting to your man and earthly ways. And there's nothing wrong or a knock to anything. I just felt like for me, I couldn't keep doing that anymore. I still can't keep choosing to do that. But albeit this place is created to invite real reflection, to invite grace and growth, to invite questions. Can we pause long enough to be present? Not just in the world around us, but in what God is doing in us. And that's what I mean by the listening to the grass, listening to what God's plans are for us. Because, mind you, He gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as much as we actually speak. And this is where I'm hoping and welcome you to reflect, wrestle, and meet with me and others with steady grace, because this place isn't meant for attacks. This place is meant to build a foundation of understanding and comfort and peace to then be urged or encouraged to continue to do what you have to do in your journey every day. Even if it is that all we do is ask questions for a while, maybe still do it with open hands and own our hearts and surrender to grace, because our stories aren't always written the way we think they are. But also sometimes God has stories written already for us that we actually have no clue existed. And something that I've learned in the past 2 years to really take on as a motto, because of course I want to practice gratitude and appreciation every day, but we have so much life to live. Do you know how much can happen in 3 months, no matter what the circumstance or context of your situation is? Some people, for example, can get degrees in 3 months. Some people can move on and meet a new person in 3 months. Someone can, learn and finally learn how to drive a car in 3 months and actually get their license. So it is that time is subjective. And our journeys are subjective to our own beliefs, but I do believe they're objectively in alignment with what God has planned for us. And I don't want to go into too much today. I want to keep it light and sweet, but I'm definitely going to share with you guys my personal testimony with the Lord and everything in the next coming episode. But definitely just wanted to start and create the space and let you guys know that I'm committing to this first. And even if I'm not necessarily satisfied with the outcome or how it may look in my eyes, I know that it's not just how I want things to come and be said. What's important is how other people receive it, as well. That's why we always say, oh, your intentions are more important than your actions. But that's not true, because you're always just oh, I meant this. But you did this, people say. So reality is, our intentions aren't always in alignment with our actions. But we can choose to do something about that the moment we start realizing that. And I just want us to all acknowledge that there's nothing wrong with having issues with how you may react, respond, or how others do to you. But just know that you're never too much, because you are perfectly made and designed. And I just truly, truly, truly want to emphasize that. And if I could leave anything else with you today, please put on your own oxygen mask before you try to help anyone else. But until next time, I definitely will give you guys more of me. And please let me know what you would like to know more from me as well. Or I'd like to know from you, maybe your thoughts and takeaways from today. But I want to just wrap it up with this final invitation. If you're listening, whether you're deep in your faith, questioning it, or just rediscovering it, or you're just here out of curiosity, you're welcome. And I pray something in this space will stir in you. May something encourage you, challenge you, or just keep encouraging you to get stronger. And this space is for anyone who needs a little honesty, hope, or a reminder that grace still echoes all around us, regardless of how loud life is. I'll be posting these every Sunday or so, and every other Sunday or so. And these won't be your surface level conversations. I'll be talking about identity, creativity, your mission, healing, my mission, stuff most people don't really have, they don't really say out loud. They may talk about it and think about it and dream about it, but to actually have conversations with other people about it because you believe that's what you're going to do is so important. And Echoes of Grace is for bold honesty and soft landings, for storytelling and spirit-led gatherings and reflection, for where 2 or 3 or more, for where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am with them. Matthew 18:20. Until next time, be blessed.